She was just 16, a teenage girl with a notebook full of songs and a dream too big for her age. By 17, she wasn't just singing into a hairbrush. She was on the top of the Billboard charts making history. But behind the record-breaking fame was a young woman fighting battles the world never saw. This is not just about her music. This is the untold story of Debbie Gibson. Welcome to Celebwood Life, where we uncover the real lives behind the spotlights. Stay till the end, because the truth about Debbie Gibson will surprise you. Early life and rise. Debbie Gibson was born on August 31st, 1970 in Brooklyn, New York, and into an ordinary family. But she herself was anything but ordinary. From a very young age, Debbie displayed an incredible passion for music. Unlike most kids who treated music as a casual hobby, Debbie approached it with a sense of seriousness and dedication that was far beyond her years. By the age of 5, she had already started learning to play the piano. But this wasn't just a child tinkering with the keys. Debbie had a rare musical gift known as perfect pitch. This meant she could hear any musical note and identify it instantly, a talent possessed by only a handful of musicians worldwide. It was this unique skill that gave her an edge and allowed her to start composing her own music, when most children were still learning nursery rhymes. While her peers spent their childhood playing with dolls or games, Debbie was busy crafting original songs, pouring her feelings and imagination into melodies. Music was not just her passion, it was her language, her way of expressing herself to the world. As she grew older, her determination only got stronger. By the time she reached her teenage years, Debbie wasn't hanging out in clubs for fun like other teens. She was performing in them, using every opportunity to showcase her talent to live audiences. This dedication paid off in a big way. Her song Only in My Dreams became her breakout hit, climbing the charts and turning Debbie into a star almost overnight. What began as a little girl's love for piano transformed into a career that inspired millions. Debbie Gibson proved that true passion, combined with hard work and talent, can turn dreams into reality. The teenage queen of pop. In 1987, at just 16 years old, Debbie Gibson did something extraordinary. She released her debut album, Out of the Blue. What could have been a modest start for a teenage artist turned into nothing less than a cultural phenomenon. The album was filled with catchy pop melodies, heartfelt lyrics, and Debbie's authentic energy, which immediately connected with listeners worldwide. Among the album's many successes was one achievement that secured Debbie a permanent place in music history. With the single Foolish Beat, she became the youngest artist ever to write, produce, and perform a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Think about that for a moment. In an industry where many stars rely on teams of ghostwriters, professional producers, and image managers, Debbie stood completely on her own. Every lyric, every melody, every note carried her personal fingerprint. While fans saw her as a bright, bubbly teenage sensation, smiling in music videos and performing on stage, the reality behind the curtain was very different. The music industry is known for its relentless pressure, and for Debbie, that pressure was even greater. Record labels and executives wanted her to remain a teen star forever, frozen in that image of youthful innocence and energy. But Debbie was more than that. She was an artist, and like every true artist, she was evolving. As she transitioned into adulthood, her music and creativity grew deeper, richer, and more personal. Yet, balancing that natural artistic growth with the industry's demand for a fixed teen idol image was a heavy challenge. Debbie Gibson's journey during this time wasn't just about fame and success. It was about staying true to herself, even when the world wanted her to remain someone else. The battles you never heard about success is a double-edged sword. For Debbie Gibson, fame brought recognition, but it also attracted sharp criticism. As her career soared, critics were quick to label her as too clean, too nice, or too bubblegum. Many dismissed her as just another teenage pop star, failing to recognize the true artistry behind her work. What they couldn't see was the depth of her songwriting, or the relentless hours she spent perfecting every lyric and every note. Debbie wasn't a manufactured product. Well, she was a musician in the purest sense, but not everyone was willing to acknowledge that. As the years went by, Debbie's career expanded into both music and theater, proving her versatility. She continued performing, writing, and connecting with her loyal fan base. But then, in the early 2000s, she faced a challenge far more personal and devastating than any critic's words. Debbie was diagnosed with Lyme disease, a serious illness that attacked her body in ways that even fame and determination couldn't shield her from. The condition left her constantly fatigued, often in pain and struggling to do the very thing she loved most: perform on stage. For someone whose life had always revolved around music, this was a heartbreaking reality. Yet Debbie's story has never been about giving up. It has always been about resilience. Instead of retreating, she chose to adapt. Balancing medical treatments with her performances, she continued writing music and sharing her art, refusing to let the disease silence her voice. Perhaps even more importantly, she kept her connection with fans strong, being open about her struggles and inspiring others who face their own battles. Debbie Gibson's journey through criticism and illness showed that true strength isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about continuing to shine even when the lights grow dim. In the ever-changing world of music, many artists fade away once the trends shift. But Debbie Gibson was never just many artist. She refused to let time or industry labels define her career. Instead of clinging desperately to her 80s pop star image, Debbie reinvented herself with remarkable grace and determination. One of her boldest moves came when she stepped onto Broadway, proving that her talents went far beyond the recording studio. She starred in acclaimed productions like Les Miserables and Grease, showcasing not only her powerful voice but also her ability to embody characters and captivate live audiences night after night. For Debbie, the stage wasn't just another platform. It was a place where she could truly connect with people on a deeper, emotional level. Her journey didn't stop there. Debbie appeared in films, further expanding her creative portfolio. She also toured internationally, bringing her music and energy to fans around the world. While some pop stars struggled to stay relevant, Debbie found new ways to shine, adapting to every era with authenticity and passion. In the modern age of entertainment, she even embraced reality TV competitions, using them not as a desperate comeback attempt, but as a genuine way to connect with a younger generation of fans who hadn't grown up with her original hits. By doing this, Debbie bridged the gap between decades, proving that true artistry never goes out of style. Through all these reinventions, Debbie Gibson established herself not just as an 80s icon, but as a survivor, a creator, and an inspiration. Her resilience and creativity showed the world that success isn't about holding on to one moment in time. It's about continually evolving while staying true to who you are. The legacy today. Debbie Gibson isn't just remembered for her chart-topping hits. She's admired for staying true to herself in an industry that constantly tries to mold people into something else. From teenage bedrooms decorated with her posters to sold-out reunion tours, her influence spans decades. And for the fans who grew up with her, She's not just part of their playlist, she's part of their memories. Debbie Gibson's story teaches us that success is not just about talent, it's about persistence, authenticity, and fighting through the struggles nobody sees. If this untold story inspired you, then don't let it stop here. Hit that like button. Share this video with anyone who remembers the magic of 80s pop. And subscribe to Celebwood Life for more hidden truths, real struggles, and the stories behind the stars you thought you knew. This was the untold story of Debbie Gibson. And now you know the truth.